Hi, everybody. Great to have you along with us as we get set for the Interac Invitational Championship game. Today, it should be a great one as we have Culver Military Academy set to take on the Fords of Haverford. With Scott Gabrielson, Mike Samsel, great to have you along with us for today's game. And Scott, a contrast of styles in a big way in this matchup.
Absolutely. You've got the Patience of Culver coming in 20-1. The only loss coming to Haverford, and then the kind of run and gun Haverford School, athletic, push the ball, take shots. It's going to be a very interesting game.
It really is. There's a lot of different ways this game could be decided, but when it comes to championship games and games like this, it usually comes down to the stars. You got Luke O'Grady and TJ Malone on one side for Haverford, and on the other side, you have Jackson Reed and Wheaton Jacobois.
Yes, you do. So let's start with Haverford School. Luke O'Grady, number 6. Big shot from outside. Likes to have the ball in his stick. Look for him. When he gets time and room, he's going to be lighting it up. TJ Malone, fantastic season for this newcomer, a junior, waited for his chance and really has shined with the spotlight. On the other side, Culver. Okay, Jackson Reed, probably one of the best players in the entire country, an Under Armour All-American, participant in about a month, and just the leader of this offense for Culver. So it should be very interesting to how these two teams stack up.
Now, this is a revenge game. Not just for one side, but for both. Because earlier on this season, Culver's only loss was to Haverford. While as last year in the Interac Invitational Championship game, it was Culver who knocked off Haverford. Both sides looking for revenge.
Yes, they are. And Culver came in here last year and kind of shocked the world, so to speak, by beating Haverford School. This year, Haverford started off the season 0-2, losing their first 2 games back against the wall. Culver in their third game, and they knock off Culver for their only blemish as they come in 20-1.
Yeah, it should be a great one coming up. Now, with these explosive offenses, you know what you need? Good goalkeeping.
Yes, you do, and we've got 2 of the best here. Parker Henderer for Haverford School. Cornell commit going there next year. Big game. 11 saves against Malvern Prep on Friday, and then on the Culver side, you've got Matt Schmidt going to Notre Dame, a tremendous goaltender. He's big, about 6'2", 200 pounds, fills the net pretty well.
Should be a great one, and we are coming up with opening face-off in just a bit here on Facebook Live. With Scott Gabrielson, Mike Samsel, great to have you along with us here at Sable Field on the campus of the Haverford School. A change in location. Originally we were supposed to be down in Westchester, but we got some great facilities here in Haverford, and so the tournament directors elected to make the decision to change here. Probably not, but I should ask the question anyway. Is there any difference in the change of locations? Do you think Haverford maybe has a little more of a home field advantage being familiar with where we're at?
Certainly. I mean, it's a home game for them. They're on their home field. They're familiar with it. But in all reality, it was requested by Coach Posner of Culver. They had to check out of their hotel rooms at noon. They had nothing to do between noon and 4 o'clock. So if it was going to be in Westchester, they didn't really know what to do.
Right.
They wanted a locker room. So they were happy to be in a locker room since noon, kind of coming on the field, shooting, staying loose. So I think it worked out for Culver as well. So they're used to playing on the road, and it's a great venue here at Haverford School.
In the face-off X, we have Joel Truxas, one of the best in the nation, and we have Liam Duff, a defender for Culver Military Academy. So it looks like they're going to try that similar strategy they had the other day.
Yes, very interesting. So they're already going to concede the face-off to Truxas and then just swarm Duff all over the ball. Could be interesting. Truxas is a far better athlete than what you've seen before. He's a guy that can face off and stay on the field. So Duff, as strong as he is, Truxas knows how to carry the ball and protect it.
And Truxas has been strong on this possession as he works to the X. But it's taken away on a wayward pass. And Culver has a lot of room through the midfield. This is Luke Anderson. Anderson attacks, finds Jacoboy, shot on and scores! Shot one, goal one. Culver jumps out to an early lead.
Working the transition, run and gun for Culver. They set it up again. Error on Haverford at the far end. That's a turnover. Culver makes him pay. Mistakes. Culver will make you pay for all your mistakes. You got to limit the mistakes if you're Haverford. But a great time room lefty rip by Wheaton Jacoboys.
And just like that, 1-0. Culver jumps in front. And you see a change in strategy here as well from Culver. As into the game is Ethan Baranigan. He'll take the face-off now.
Again, this is the matchup at the X that we were looking for. Brannigan versus Truxas. Let 2 short sticks go. Brannigan jumps, going to Haverford.
So Haverford again will have possession as Truxas works through some contact again and gets to the X. Behind it, Salvaggio.
I think it's going to be interesting to see what the pace of play is for Culver today. They were very methodical, slow against Episcopal on Friday. Today they seem a little more energized. Looks like they're going to challenge Haverford wherever they go with their strong defense.
It was a 6-1 lead entering the fourth quarter for Culver before they conceded 4 goals and barely snuck away with a 6-5 victory. That was against the Churchmen of Episcopal in the semifinals. As a shot is wide from Nostrand.
Nostrand likes that shot from left to right, sweeping to a strong hand. Kind of lost his angle a little bit, but took a shot. O'Grady's going to start it up for the Haverford forwards.
Peter Garneau.
Number 33, the sophomore. Really bright future for this kid. Really quick, nice right hand. He's a Virginia commit as a sophomore. Very talented, slippery player. Great shot on the run.
Here's Garneau. Finding Salvaggio. Now it's Connor Mosebrook. Nostrand open, able to regather on the ground ball, and here's a goal. It's Luke O'Grady tying it at 1.
Bang, great ball movement right there. Nostrand dropped the pass, picked it up off the ground. Little skip pass to your left. O'Grady sets his feet, rips it offside hip. Beat Schmidt, the righty. Couldn't be a better spot by Luke O'Grady. Right side, his sweet spot. Time room, jams it offside hip. Great goal, Luke O'Grady.
So the stars we talked about in the open are the 2 goal scorers for Culver, Wheaton Jacobois, and Luke O'Grady for Haverford. Goal 54 on the year.
He's put up some great points, no doubt.
Truxas, ground ball loose. Still loose. And able to come away with it is Baranigan momentarily. Toward the sidelines and out, it will go to Culver.
Beautiful night here at Sable Field, Haverford School. Cool, overcast, not too hot, not in the 90s. This is just a run-and-gun type weather. We'll see what Culver's going to do here, whether they're going to get the ball around 4 or 5 times like they did against Episcopal. They got called for, actually, they put the shot clock on them 7 times in that game on Friday, which is a surprise. With the talent they have, I think they should be running and gunning because let's go. Match it up and go.
I wonder if the weather played any effect in how it was that they played in that game. Wasn't quite as hot for their 7 o'clock window, but was still in the high 80s, very humid.
Yep.
Behind the net working is Chauvette. Side of the net, and Henderer makes his first save.
Great save, and he finds his man number 1, Chris Hervada. Great wheels, little bomb play.
Ryan Jacob gives it off to O'Grady. And now Haverford will get a few of their attacking middies on as Nostrand settles the possession. Nostrand works as Garneau comes running in. Bottom left of your screen now, Garneau in the center. Sprints right, past the double team. Down low, man open, hit the post.
Great cut by TJ Malone. Garneau found him, hit the pipe, hit the Schmidt in the head, and then bounced out. The pipe is your friend when you're a goalie. Schmidt had a friendly one right there.
Schmidt long downfield, a little bit too far out of the reach of Ryan Hallenbeck. But here is Jacobois in front, shot blocked. Hervada gets in the way. The ground ball comes back to Hallenbeck. And now it's Chauvette, upper right of your screen.
D middies transferring off, offensive middies transferring on for Culver. Here comes Jackson Reed, number 15.
15 in maroon is one to watch. 63 goals on the season for the Notre Dame commit senior. Ohio State, check that for Reed.
Yep, well-rounded, over 100 points on the season. Anytime you got a player that can put up over 100 points, he's something special.
Reed on the right side finds Jacobois. And now behind, it's Austin Madronic. One we don't talk about much, but Madronic's got 43 goals in his own right on the season and had 2 the other night in their win over Episcopal. Reed to Chauvette.
Nice matchup here. Johnny Nostrand. Chauvette.
Comes off a pick and finds Simmons. And now again it's Clayton, and this is what we saw a lot of from Culver Military Academy in their game against Episcopal. Clinical in their attack.
Great check by here. Gavin Burke. Gavin Burke's taking away the right hand.
And that one out.
Clayton's predominantly right hand. He's trying to go to his right hand, but it was Burke on a great defensive effort, the sophomore.
And Burke gets rewarded with bringing the ball up to the midfield. Now back for Henderer. Looking for some space in through the middle. It's Hervada. Being chased by Luke Anderson. Hervada looks for some help and says, I'll just do this myself.
Great pressure by Culver. Whenever a long stick has the ball, you go heavy, which means swarm all over him, try to take advantage, create the turnover. Culver did just that. Shut off all your Jason passes, which they did. Hervada had nowhere to throw it. Turnover. Culver ball.
Culver in the maroon, Haverford in white and gold. And it's O'Grady with a turnover.
Luke O'Grady with a great ride. Big stick, caught the tip of the stick. Haverford ball.
Malone being watched in the X by Reed. Goal line extended. Mosebrook tosses it back to Malone. Attack side of the net. Now a long shot is batted down and saved by Schmidt from Mosebrook, with Salvaggio chasing him all over. Hallenbeck up the side into the attack. Ryan Hallenbeck finds Chauvette behind. The sophomore from Cleveland, Ohio, a future John Hopkins commit. Works it back around for Stevens.
11, Max Brooks, the D midi for Haverford. Matching up well on Stevens.
5:05 remains here in quarter number one. A lot of space for Reed, and he skips it wide.
That's a tough one. It was a late substitution. That, leaving Reed alone like that is not a good situation. However, a shot went errant. Haverford dodged a bullet there.
Chavette, side of the net, works it around for Alex Simmons. And now it's Stevens. Reed and Stevens play catch. Stevens, a junior, headed to the Big Red of Cornell in the Ivy League. Stevens will attack. Jacobois works it around. Madronic had two the other night, and he's got one here. A 2-1 lead for Culver.
Little two-man game there. Jackson Reed came down, kind of set up the wall, set up the pick. Madronic came up and around, time room, shot. Beautiful goal. Culver's very good at the two-man game, kind of the slip picks. He got up above him, found his spot, buried it.
And it's 2-1. The lead belongs to Culver Military Academy. Already more attack here in the first quarter than we've seen a lot from Culver the other night. Of their 6 goals, they scored 4 of them when they were on the shot clock. Now here's another quick attack, and this one put high and wide by Simmons.
Great face-off by Baranigan. Simmons, like to have that one back, had all the time in the world, whips it high.
Chavette being chased and beaten by Gavin Burke. Now all the way back out for Simmons.
Late sub right now. Sub coming off. Haverford choosing to go with a long stick wherever Jackson Reed goes. Looks like it's number 34, Ryan Nigaman, the sophomore. Big, strong, athletic defender playing the shifty midfielder, 15 for Culver.
Simmons with some space again. Finds Reed. Jacobois over to Stevens. 3:20 to play here in the first quarter. A 2-1 lead for Culver. With Scott Gabrielson, Mike Samsel. Great to have you along with us for today's Interac Invitational Championship. A rematch of the 2016 final as well, which saw Culver victorious by 8-7. But it was a double overtime game early in 2017, the last time these two teams matched up. Meanwhile, Madronic, filthy, behind the back, 3-1 lead.
Jackson Reed had the switch. He got the short stick. He wanted to try to do his one-on-one dodge with the shorty, with the pick and roll. Nigaman got lost. However, he found Madronic sitting there on the crease. Instead of shooting it right, he didn't have the angle. He buries it behind his back. Great goal by Austin Madronic.
Now Brannigan and Truxas in the face-off X, 3-1. The lead belongs to Culver Military Academy.
And again, the Madronic, the junior, that's his 46th goal on the season. Been very productive this year. One-handed wrap check on Truxas. They're going to call him for a hold.
And so, again, it's Culver with Brannigan. On the outside, Chavette. 2:40 remains here in the first quarter. As I was saying, as the goal was scored, 8-7 the final the last 2 times these teams matched up. It was double overtime where the Fords were victorious earlier on this season, handing Culver Military Academy their only loss this year.
On this field, no less. So they've played here before. They know what it's like. They know what the taste of a loss is at the Haverford School. They're looking to redeem themselves.
Jake Stevens, Chavette, and now Madronic. Goal line extended. Trying to work himself free. And gets all the way back out to Stevens. Stevens being watched the whole way, gets inside position on Max Brooks, but elects to retreat behind the net.
I like the defensive setup that Haverford is using. Instead of a close D with Dingham on the attackman, they're putting a shorty behind and having Max Brooks play D along with Ryan Jacob. 3 sticks up top, 1 shorty behind.
Chauvette with $1:20 to play in the first quarter. Attacks on the right side, but it's Jacob following him the whole way. Clayton gives it goal line extended for Stevens. Attacks, puts it back out. Nice spin move, and a shot is wide from Simmons.
Nice little flip back by Stevens. Had the opportunity. Good look at the net. Again, errant shot.
So Haverford gets it back. 50 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Jacob, some space as he attacks. Now peels back and gives it off to No Strings.
Under 30, getting their offensive midfielders on. Nostrand. Mac Costin, the sophomore.
That's Costin attacking, trying to get out in front. No easy real estate to be had, so he gives back to Garneau. 10 seconds. This is No Strength. Spins. 7 seconds. No Strength. Little space. Gives it off. Costin skip shot wide, out of bounds. 2.9 to play. A little time, not much. They get it in front and it rolls through. And the ground ball will end quarter number 1 here at Sable Field. We've played one. Our score 3-1. Culver Military Academy in front. You're watching the Interact Invitational presented by Rothman Institute.
I'm an electrical contractor. I'm always on the move. I was having a lot of pain down my right leg. I went to a specialist and he gave me an injection and it didn't seem to help me whatsoever. So I went to Rothman. My doctor took an x-ray and said I was bone on bone and I would need a hip replacement. I felt very confident with him, and I said, okay, let's schedule the surgery. I'm 9 weeks out of surgery. Well, I'm back to working, and if I needed another joint replacement, I would definitely go back to Rothman.
I never wanted to be a fireman or an astronaut. My dream was to be a professional baseball player. And last year, I was getting ready for my first professional season, and my shoulder just kept getting more sore, and I knew something wasn't right. I walked into Rothman and I saw all the sports teams' jerseys on the wall. I knew I was in good hands. Because of Rothman, I can pitch even better than I was before. I'm back out on that mound to finish pursuing my dream of being in the big leagues.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Evolution Energy Partners, CBRE Commercial Real Estate, The Brennan Collective, and ExecuPower. Today's title sponsor is Rothman Institute, the official team physicians of the Phillies, Eagles, Flyers, and 76ers. They provide the region with unmatched orthopedic care to get your mobility back and to live again. Visit RothmanInstitute.com. Set to start quarter number 2, 3-1 our score. Haverford trailing Culver Military Academy. With Scott Gabrielson, I'm Mike Samsel. Great to have you along with us for today's game. And as we get set for quarter number 2, we wondered what part of this matchup would win out. Would it be the more disciplined Wheaton attack, or would it be the attacking style of Haverford? Well, it turns out Haverford needs the ball to attack.
Yeah, they do. Time of possession is with Culver right now. They are being very disciplined. However, they're getting their opportunities. They're going to the goal far more aggressively than they did on Friday night.
So again, it looks like Culver is going to concede the second quarter face-off as it's Truxas against Duff. Duff, a defender, will just immediately attack Truxas once he controls possession. Like that. But Truxas has some speed and a man open in the middle. Hervada down low, shot, score. Boy, that strategy just not working out. Salvaggio makes it a 3-2 game.
That's all Joel Truxas right there. Face off. This is a guy that has a stick, that is athletic. He knows what to do with the ball. Possesses it, sees his offensive wing, break up the field. Again, Hervada catches the ball, hits O'Grady. O'Grady, one little dump pass down to Salvaggio. Fake, finish. Great goal for the Haverford School.
And it's a 3-2 game. 9 seconds into the second quarter. Truxas, and again Duff. Truxas able to force the ground ball, but there's Hervada to get it.
Just a great ground ball by Chris Hervada. Oh, unfortunate. All that work for a quick turnover. Going back to Culver.
Burke couldn't quite possess, and the Eagles take it back. Matthew Schmidt, the Notre Dame-bound goalie. Through midfield, a stumble and a regather by Alex Simmons. He'll attack and move from right to left. At the point, William Clayton.
Trying to get the right matchups. Stevens with the shorty. Stevens and Clayton with the shorts. Again, a D-man covering the midfielder, Jackson Reed.
There is Jackson Reed, and he's attacked as he spins free on the right side. Shoots low, and the save made by Henderer, and that's going to be a penalty as well.
It's going to be a push with possession. Nigaman coming in strong. Reed had a step on him, however, he pushed him from behind while he had possession. That's going to be a push.
So the first man up will belong to Culver.
I like the D by Ryan Nigaman. He was right under his arm. However, as soon as Reed got under him, he pushed him. Can't do that. Illegal. Culver, man up.
Jacobois over to Simmons. We've seen Culver do this the other night against Episcopal. They just make that circle smaller and smaller until they get the shot they like. But Henderer makes the save on Reed.
Henderer, great save. Can of corn right there, like picking a can of corn off the shelf. Easy save for him. Shutting off Reed, Jackson Reed.
I don't think they're flinging cans of corn at about 70 miles an hour, though. If they are, I'm getting out of the way of it.
Luke O'Grady with a great clear.
Still a man down as that one goes out.
Over.
Schmidt having some trouble with it. And now finally gives it off. Lucky play wasn't started. Schmidt gives it off on the right side for Liam Duff. Now through midfield on the outside is Hallenbeck. Alex Simmons gives to Stevens. Man up is over. As Jackson Reed.
Reed is pushing his players away. He likes the matchup, wants a short stick, but this is where the Culver off-ball men are dangerous.
Simmons wanted to shoot, instead pulls it back and waits for a better look.
Culver's offense is all about the off-ball cuts. Pick away and let the diagonal cut be there for your teammate.
Stevens attacks and hits the crossbar. Ground ball. And spinning free is Nigaman to give it off to Henderer.
Great play by Nigaman to pick that ball up right on the sideline. Athletic roll away, throw to Henderer. Good clear by Haverford.
Offside.
Offsides.
So a couple of Haverford possessions have been wiped out by mistakes. Ground ball, dangerous near Henderer. He's able to get it free momentarily. It goes out.
Great hustle by Gavin Burke to get back there and make the check. Turn it over.
And a timeout taken by Haverford. Want to let you know today's game is brought to you in part by Evolution Energy Partners, providing expert energy solutions to commercial and industrial customers around the country. Today's game also brought to you by CBRE Commercial Real Estate, #1 in commercial real estate in Philadelphia and worldwide. With Scott Gabrielson, I'm Mike Samsel. Great to have you along with us. Scott played for the University of Vermont, played for the Philadelphia Wings in his career, and combined, we belong to 5 Hall of Fames, but all 5 of them belong to this guy. Princeton High, Vermont, PA, New Jersey, and Vermont Lacrosse Hall of Fame. The bona fides are unquestionable. Great to be with you for today's game, and this has really been a good one so far. We've seen Culver play a little bit tight to the vest, but when Haverford has been able to get out and run, at least in the first quarter, they converted.
Yes, they are. Again, this is a heavyweight fight. Each team is taking their shots. Very disciplined, very aggressive on their rides and defense. You're seeing a lot of turnovers right now on each team, which just shows about how strong the defense is on each respective team.
And the goalkeepers have been solid today as well. Henderer's made some big saves.
Yes, you've got 2 of the best goaltenders in the country here. You got big guys. The goal is 6x6. Each of these goaltenders' heads are above the crossbar. Okay, you've got big, solid, athletic goaltenders in there. Henderer's making big saves. Schmidt's making big saves. Again, Schmidt's on his way to Notre Dame. Henderer's on his way to Cornell. I mean, just a tremendous player all the way around.
When you're flipping on ESPN in a few years and you see the college playoffs going on in the college tournament, a lot of the names you're hearing today are guys that are going to be starring in that tournament as well.
Absolutely. I mean, both of these teams have delivered who's who in lacrosse right now. Ethan Walker is the freshman of the year in the Big East playing. He's playing in the Final Four next week, all right? He's at Denver right now. Matt Neufeld of Culver D-Man graduated last year. He's playing for the University of Maryland. On the other side, Grant Ament at Penn State University and Chris Sabia at Penn State, both All-Americans this year. And Dox Aiken, one of the top freshmen in the country from University of Virginia, or at the University of Virginia right now.
Back to live action. But an offensive push is going to give it back to Haverford. Henderer gives it out on the far side. And through midfield with the head of steam, this is Garnell.
Late substitution by Culver.
Garnell holds possession, is sprinting in as 33, Luke Anderson. Now it's John Nostrand. 7:35 to play here before halftime.
Talk about big guys. Both of the deep middies for Culver are big. Luke Anderson out there right now, and Ryan Hallenbach, both over 6'1", 200 pounds, solid, athletic, hard checks. Strong defenders.
Malone has been quiet today. He's being pressured by Kellen Duff. Behind and back out, no strength. Scoops up the ground ball after he mishandles. Number 9 in white, Adam Salvaggio has one today. Gives it off this time. Side of the net, O'Grady finds Garneau. Little space. But Haverford will hold for a better opportunity. Garneau attacks the inside shoulder and spins back with the left hand. Now attacks, goal line extended, swings around behind.
Nice patience by the Haverford offense. Garneau trying to get the mismatch. Did not rush it. Reset, attack the shorty. Here's Salvaggio with the short stick.
Trying to spin free, gives it off to O'Grady, and now Garneau. He and O'Grady play catch. It's O'Grady. Spinning inside shoulder, back to Garneau. A patient attack by Haverford. Taking a page out of the Culver playbook. John Nostrand. Cuts inside. Nostrand, save made as play is whistled down. And the Fords are going to go a man up.
Nostrand, although he's a midi, he has played attack before he played attack all last season. He's very dangerous from behind. Takes a left to right move, gets under Jack Parker. Parker pushes him as he's making a move to the goal. That's a push with possession penalty. Haverford School on the man up.
The Fords will get a minute man up with 5:54 to play before halftime.
22, Pierce Glavin is the lefty shooter, a freshman out there.
Peter Garno gives it off. This is 22. Pierce Glavin. Back to Garno as they work the outside. O'Grady to Garno at the point. And now Nostrand. Spins to the inside shoulder with the left hand. Switches back to the right. Gives to Garno. Little space. A shot. And Schmidt able to fight that one off. Think he got a piece of it as it sailed wide.
Ted Batson got a stick on that to make it carom off net.
In front, but just a little bit too far out of the reach of the cutting attacker, Peter Garno. And now some space in front. Jackaboy scores! 4-2, Culver in front. Wheaton Jackaboy, goal number 2 of the day.
If you make a mistake, Culver will make you pay. Mistake on handling the ball by Haverford. Culver comes down in the transition, finds the open man in front. Wheaton Jackaboy's running through checks, big, strong senior. Notre Dame commit, jams it in the net. His 32nd goal on the season.
Baranigan and Truxis in the X with 5:06 before halftime. Truxis fights off a check, comes away with it, attacks, loses it. Ground ball scrum in front. And coming away with it is Culver. Some tough work by Baranigan. He attacks with a head of steam. Splits a double team.
Great hustle by the face-off man, junior Ethan Brannigan. The Army commit gives his team the opportunity, and John Posner wants a timeout.
Timeout taken by Culver Military Academy. Today's game is brought to you in part by the Brennan Collective. Architectural interiors, furniture solutions, and workplace technology. The Brennan Collective, providing environments for the future. Today's game is also brought to you in part by ExecuPower, the power of experience. With Scott Gabrielson, Mike Samsel, great to have you along with us for today's presentation of the final here in the Interac Invitational. These two teams rode to the finals in round number 1. It was a win for the Haverford School as they defeated the Hun School. Actually, round 2 was when the Fords played their first game. They had a first round bye. They defeated the Hun School 15-10. Then Malvern Prep fell to Haverford 13-10. That put them here in the final. On the other side for Culver Military Academy, they had a bye in round 1 as well. Round 2, they took out William Charter 15-7. And then Culver defeated Episcopal on Friday night here on the Sports Fanbase Network. Scroll down a couple of videos and you'll be able to see both of those games. It was Culver 6, Episcopal 5.
And again, this is the Interac Invitational Lacrosse Championship. Haverford is the Interac champ of this year, 2017. They started off the season kind of, everyone was really looking beyond them. Didn't think it was going to be their year. They've played with a chip on their shoulder and have got the job done. And now they are representing the Interac against the visiting Indiana powerhouse, Culver Military Academy, to see who can take this championship home.
Out of the timeout, back to live action. Culver Military Academy has it with Alex Simmons. Simmons runs off the Shaw. That pick and attacks right side. 4:25 to play before halftime. Simmons circles the net and gives it off on the left side for Stevens.
Open set for Culver right now. Just starting to move a man to the crease. But what they're doing is a two-man game. They're running their defender off a pick, trying to get a little pick and roll. If it doesn't work, then they send it over to the other side. Here's a pick and roll with Jackson right now. Jackson's going to look to roll out. And they continue to do that, repeat it until the defense misses a slide, does not communicate properly to try to get a pick, roll, dump, and shot.
Simmons spins and gives it off. Jake Stevens from distance. And Henderer gets the tip of his stick on it. It goes out, and it will stay with Culver Military. 3:35 before halftime. Chavette, goal line extended. Being watched the whole way. Solid defense by Ryan Jacobs. Chavette goes to the other side and finds Reed.
Chavette is an attackman. They choose to have a short stick on him and play the midfielders with their long sticks up top.
Austin Madronic gives it off. Stevens, Chavette, and now side of the net, Simmons. Starting to contract that circle just a little bit and try and get closer to Henderer is Culver with 2:55 before halftime.
Very solid defense by Haverford. Pretty impressive. Gavin Burke trying to take away that right-hand side. Don't let him get to the middle. Excellent defense. Predominantly a righty. Jake Stevens wants to get it up top on the top side and get to a strong right hand.
Burke over to Reed. Reed cuts inside. And now gives it in the X. Attacking side of the net, Madronic.
Such disciplined defenders. Haverford, credit to Paul O'Grady, Travis Loving, the defensive coaches.
And Henderer comes away with that one. I'm not even sure that was a shot. If it was kind of half-hearted, but I think he was trying to make a pass in front.
I think so, too. A little skip pass. Henderer was all over it.
John Nostrand, nice move to get some space as he attacks. Substitution in late as it's Anderson. In for Culver.
Late sub. Garno's wide open. It's a late substitution for Culver.
Garner spins and gives it off for Nostrand. Looks like Culver is recovered, but a little bit of space and a mishandle from Costin. Ground ball, still loose. Nostrand chases after it and regathers to retain possession for the Forts.
Culver dodges a bullet right there, but great ground ball by John Nostrand.
In front, and play whistle down, a push.
John Nostrand's going to call timeout, let his guys regroup, get a breath. 1:20 left in the half. Big possession right now. Haverford wants to get this game within one before the half.
Rothman Institute, the official team physicians of the Phillies, Eagles, Flyers, and 76ers, provides the region with unmatched orthopedic care to get your mobility back and to live again. Visit RothmanInstitute.com. Well, that's a rowdy bunch, isn't it?
Yes, it is. The Haverford student body having some fun down there, cheering on their classmates.
I think I see a Ben Simmons jersey in there as well, so hopefully we'll get to see him play for the Philadelphia 76ers coming up next season. Are we finally through the process?
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. You got Philly faithful here. We are on the main line of Philadelphia. You've got a lot of the Haverford guys with their Wayne Simmons jerseys on, looking for some excellence coming out of the Sixers.
A trust the process chant from the Ford student section. They hope head coach John Nostrand gave him a good process in this timeout to make it a one-goal game as well.
Minute 20 left. Personnel on the field, you've got O'Grady up top, Nostrand, Garno. You're going to have TJ Malone with the ball. And on the far side, you've got Peyton Holloway, Salvaggio. Let's see what Mark Patron has dialed up for the minute 20. Scott Deck, 14 on the far side.
Garno works from the outside. Off a little pick, creates some space. Under a minute to play here in the first half.
O'Grady's the dangerous one with the outside shot.
No strength. Being guarded one-on-one by Duff. Malone attacks in front, shot blocked. Schmidt chases after it and gets there first, but he's under siege, splits the double team. That one goes out, however, and Haverford able to force the turnover.
Heavy ride by Malvern. Are they saying that Culver called a timeout before the turnover?
They did grant the Eagles a timeout.
So that means before the turnover, he called timeout.
So Culver looks like they'll dodge the bullet and maintain possession. Today's game is brought to you in part by Evolution Energy Partners, CBRE Commercial Real Estate, the Brennan Collective, and ExecuPower. With Scott Gabrielson, Mike Samsel, great to have you along with us here at Sable Field on the beautiful campus of Haverford High School. Certainly a scene and a facility befitting of the championship game here in the Interac Invitational.
Yes, it is. The hill's packed. Just a great place to watch a lacrosse game. Haverford trying to get some revenge against Culver after a loss at Villanova University last year. Culver trying to avenge a loss, a double overtime loss that started their season. And their only blemish at this time as they sit here 20-1 and ranked number 2 in the country.
So it looks like even though they granted Culver the timeout, it is going to be Ford's ball. 15 seconds remains before halftime. Great job to fight through the contact, and the shot is saved by Schmidt. Flings this one way downfield over the head of Henderer. 2 seconds left. It's out. And the first half, is the first half over? Did they whistle for the stoppage first?
Scott Deck with a strong right-handed move, diving for the shot. However, Matt Schmidt all over it down low.
And that is indeed the end of the first half here at Sable Field. With our score, Culver Military Academy 4 and Haverford 2. You're watching the Interac Invitational presented by the Rothman Institute here on SFBN Facebook Live.
In my freshman year of high school, I started feeling pain in my ankle. So I went to a local specialist who diagnosed me with a rare ankle condition. And because of this rare condition, he suggested that I go to Rothman. My Rothman doctor told me that I have to have surgery on my ankle. He really explained it to me and told me that I was going to be okay. It's my senior year, and I'm so thankful to my Rothman doctor for getting me back on the field with my team and having no pain. I love it.
I'm an electrical contractor. I'm always on the move. I was having a lot of pain down my right leg. I went to a specialist, and he gave me an injection, and it didn't seem to help me whatsoever. So I went to Rothman. My doctor took an x-ray and said I was bone on bone, and I would need a hip replacement. I felt very confident with him, and I said, okay, let's schedule the surgery. I'm 9 weeks out of surgery. Well, I'm back to working, and if I needed another joint replacement, I would definitely go back to Rothman.
I never wanted to be a fireman or an astronaut. My dream was to be a professional baseball player. And last year, I was getting ready for my first professional season, and my shoulder just kept getting more sore, and I knew something wasn't right. I walked into Rothman, and I saw all the sports teams' jerseys on the wall. I knew I was in good hands. Because of Rothman, I can pitch even better than I was before. I'm back out on that mound to finish pursuing my dream of being in the big leagues.
Welcome to Audi Devon, a family-owned and operated dealership for over 60 years. Since the beginning, we've created many trusting relationships and have become the #2 Audi dealership in customer satisfaction nationwide. With quality care, backed by the Audi Devon Advantage, which includes same-day, no appointment necessary maintenance. And free loaner vehicles. We've got all the time you need. So come see us today at Audi Devon. Born in Germany, perfected in Devon.
Hey, you.
Who, me?
You like pro sports?
Yeah,
You like college sports?
of course.
You like high school sports?
I guess.
Maybe you just don't know much about them.
Where can I go to learn more about Philadelphia area high school athletics?
Watch Varsity Voice every other Wednesday, 6 p.m. on TCN.
That's Scott. I'm Mike. Thanks so much for joining us as we get set for the second half here at Haverford. Our score 4-2 Culver Military Academy is in front over the Fords of Haverford. And as we take a look at some of the first half numbers here, it's been pretty even. You know, we see Haverford with the slight advantage in ground balls, 8-7. Haverford being outshot 15-9. Culver up 4-2. But the thing that I've seen that's been interesting is Haverford has actually had the advantage in the face-off circle as well. 5-3, they have the advantage in the face-off X. But that's because Culver has conceded possession a lot of times. That's an interesting strategy.
Yes, they have. I mean, Joel Truxas is such a fine face-off man. They'd rather concede it, try to give up the ball. Once Truxas wins it, then they want to have Duff swarm on him, try to get the check. for a turnover. But again, it's been, Truxas is an athletic kid. He's holding on to the ball. Very even game so far. You look at the stats. The stats are very even all the way around. This is a slugfest.
Yeah, it really is. Now, we've seen Haverford start to control possession just a little bit more as the second half went on, but we haven't really seen them get out and run yet. Is this like a basketball team? Is there a chance where you feel like they're just going to get on a run, or is Culver going to do everything they can to prevent that from
They're going to
happening?
prevent that. They do not want to run with Haverford. Haverford's very athletic, very fast. But again, Culver is doing their two-man game. They're very disciplined. What they want is to try to have the defense make a mistake. But unfortunately for Culver, the Haverford defense is very strong and very disciplined. They're switching very well. They're playing sides defense, so instead of following your man through, let the guy sweep across. You just stay to the right side or the left side, and they're making their switches very cleanly.
Like what you've seen from the goalkeepers here in the first half?
I like what I'm seeing right now. Both of them have made some very big saves. Putting the ball on the ground sometimes slows the ball down, and each goalie has made some nice saves, picking the ball up off the turf. But again, two big goaltenders that are playing very well.
Second half face-off coming up. You're watching the Interact Invitational presented by the Rothman Institute.
In my freshman year of high school, I started feeling pain in my ankle. So I went to a local specialist who diagnosed me with a rare ankle condition. And because of this rare condition, he suggested that I go to Rothman. My Rothman doctor told me that I have to have surgery on my ankle. He really explained it to me and told me that I was going to be okay. It's my senior year, and I am so thankful to my Rothman doctor for getting me back on the field with my team and having no pain. I love it.
With Scott Gabrielson, Mike Samsel with you, this is the Interact Invitational presented by the Rothman Institute. Scott Gabrielson, take us inside each huddle right now.
Well, again, let's start with Haverford right now. Second half, all right? They've kept this close. They're down by 2 goals. Let's start to take advantage of our possessions the best we can. When we get our opportunities to shoot, we got to put the ball in the back of the net. For Culver, they're playing at the pace. They've got a 2-goal game. Be very careful, guys. This is a very dangerous team that you're playing against. They have to do the same. Like to see some better shooting percentage on both teams. Culver has outshot Haverford 15-9, and they've only got 4 goals. So Culver, if they dial it in, they could be putting some points on the board.
So to the face-off X to start the second half. It'll be Truxas out on the field for sure for Haverford. And we'll see the strategy that Culver Military Academy takes. And they will indeed send out the defender, Liam Duff.
Now your scoring leaders right now for Haverford, you've got Luke O'Grady with 1 goal, 1 assist. Salvaggio with a goal, and Nostrand with an assist. For Culver, Jacoboyce has got 2, Anderson has 2 helpers, Madronic has 2 goals, and Reed has an assist.
Ground ball off the draw. Truxas unable to scoop it the first 2 times. Kicks it the 3rd time, and there's Hervada. If he's near the ball, he's getting it.
He is getting it. He is a Hoover vacuum cleaner. Number 1, Chris Hervada. Great play.
Nostrand crushed, and that's going to be a man-up advantage for Haverford. That is, if O'Grady doesn't score. What a save by Schmidt.
Wow. Heck of a save by Schmidt. O'Grady, Nostrand finds O'Grady. Crossfield O'Grady with time and room. Sets his feet. Rips it. But the senior Matt Schmidt is there to eat it up. You think that would be a sure goal right there, Mike. O'Grady had time and room, wanted to go to that upper corner. Schmidt was all over it.
Man down right now for Haverford over on the far side. I hate to see that as both teams drop to a knee. The injured player is 26, Liam Duff, the senior defender. Would be a big loss. We're going to step aside and take a timeout. It'll be a man up for the Fords when we come back. You're watching the Interac Invitational presented by Rothman Institute.
I'm an electrical contractor. I'm always on the move. I was having a lot of pain down my right leg. I went to a specialist and he gave me an injection and it didn't seem to help me whatsoever. So I went to Rothman. My doctor took an x-ray and said I was bone on bone and I would need a hip replacement. I felt very confident with him. And I said, okay, let's schedule the surgery. I'm 9 weeks out of surgery. Well, I'm back to working. And if I needed another joint replacement, I would definitely go back to Rothman.
Mike Samsel, Scott Gabrielson with you is off the field with a little bit of help as Liam Duff. But for Haverford, a big advantage. Number 26 out of the game and a man up.
That's tough. I mean, Liam Duff is the top defenseman for Culver. Is a shutoff D-man, transition player, takes the midfielder up top. Having him off the field is certainly going to be beneficial for Haverford, and now they're on the man up.
O'Grady to Garneau, and now swung around on the far side. For 22, Pierce Glavin. This one out. It'll stay with Haverford. Pierce Glavin, the freshman, almost appears like a man-up specialist. That's really only when we see him on the game.
Yep. Very talented lefty. They want a strong left-hander on that left side wing for taking that big shot.
Nostrand puts it wide. It'll stay with Haverford.
Scott Deck, the junior attackman, number 14, sitting on the crease looking for that little quick stick inside. Well, O'Grady is looking for a rip from outside.
Gets it and scores!
And there it is.
Just as you said to me the other day, ask and you shall receive.
There you go. That kid is not denied very often when he has time, can set his feet, and rips the shot. Again, great skip pass across the top of the defense. Luke O'Grady catch, sets his feet, and just blisters one past Schmidt above his head, crossbar down. Number 6, Luke O'Grady.
A minute gone. Haverford capitalizes on the man up. And it's a one-goal game. Offside on the face-off. And it will be Ford's possession.
Coming into the game, O'Grady had 3 goals against Malvern Prep on Friday. 54 points, 54 goals on the season to go with 14 assists. Pretty impressive. Just about 70 points for the junior attackman.
John Nostrand. A couple of substitutions come in as Garneau steps forward. Peter Garneau spins back, being bodied the whole way by Luke Anderson. Nostrand shimmies free, left-hand shot, skipped and hit the crossbar. Boy, that might have hit the inside of the crossbar.
Great move, great shot, right under the crossbar, right above Schmidt's head. Bounces out, Culver ball.
Great pressure by 14 in white. Scott Deck forces the turnover, and it's going to be another man up as the flag comes in, but not before Haverford able to control possession. Deck in front, Garneau, man open, he scores! Nostrand ties it at 4.
Swarming ride by Culver, however it's turned over. Haverford gets the ball, moves it, finds Johnny Nostrand on the far side, takes his time, fake, finish. Huge goal for Haverford. We got a tie ball game.
Double overtime in the regular season the last time these two teams matched up. We're tied at 4 right now and still plenty of time in the second half.
Great ride by Haverford. Just hustle plays all over the field, making the right pass. The ball moves faster than the man. All you have to do is find your open man, get it to him. They found Nostrand on the backside, and he put it away to tie the game. You're going to have Truxas kicking this cross. It's going to go Culver ball.
So the Eagles will come away with it. Jacobois waits for a substitution to come on. 15 in red is Jackson Reed.
Number 17, Billy Holmes, all over Jacobois, the athletic senior long stick defender, headed to Fairfield University. Bill Holmes started the season on the bench with an injury. He's come back, has helped out this Haverford team big time with his appearance and effectiveness on the field.
Alex Simmons off to Clayton. Clayton trying to shake free, gives to Jacobois. Now Reed and Simmons once more. Switches positions with Reed. Reed off a screen.
Moving pick. Chauvette, moving pick. Turnover. Haverford ball.
And Culver on their heels a little bit. Just kidding. Jacobois. There is the turnover forced by Chauvette. Attacks in front. Man open and put wide. Hallenbeck couldn't bury it. One-on-one with the goaltender Henderer.
Wow, they want that one back. A little sloppy pass by Haverford. You'd think Culver would have cashed in on that one. Errant shot wide by Culver, but they're back on the 6-on-6. Late substitution. This could be dangerous for Culver. 2-on-1.
Nice move and a shot. Skips wide from Clayton.
Culver's had some great opportunities, high percentage shots in front of the net. They've just have them off cage.
William Clayton being tracked the whole way by Gavin Burke. Jacobois. And now the dangerous goal scorer Austin Madronic swings it around. Simmons from Chauvette.
Nice D by Hervada. They're shading the strong side of each offensive player very well. Take away their strong hand, force them to their offside hand. The defense is very disciplined. Evan Scott, solid. Hervada, Billy Holmes. Great play by the Haverford defense.
Clayton tries to work his way in front. Burke says no. So now it's back to Simmons. About 20 yards from the cage, gives it off to Reed. Reed trying to get the inside shoulder, can't, so he gives it back to Chauvette.
Perfect position by Nigaman.
Simmons at the X. Side of the net, Clayton takes a couple of big hits, absorbs the contact, and finds Chauvette. Simmons once more in front. Here's a shot that Henderer able to scoop from Clayton.
Parker Henderer, big save. Very patient offense. Culver was trying to make things happen. The defense was so disciplined for Haverford that they had nothing.
No strength. Head of steam. Shot skipped barely wide. It'll stay with Haverford with 5:58 to play here in the third.
I think it's important right now for Haverford to get a long possession here. They have to give their defense a rest. That was at least a 3-minute possession for Culver. Try to let them catch their breath.
In front, and Deck somehow couldn't get that one to go.
Nice little sneak pass there. Costin trying to find Deck on the backside.
Malone. Ground ball back.
Haverford's
Scooped up by
been pretty
Mosbrook.
consistent with their personnel, really sticking with their first line of midfielders with Nostrand, Garno. Now they've got Mosbrook in number 10.
Certainly haven't seen Connor as much today as we did on Friday night. But in now with a sustained possession for Haverford, as this one's going to roll all the way back to the midfield. Chauvet numbers 2, maybe 3 on 1. Chauvet across, Madronic, goal. Can't make mistakes like that here, Haverford. Culver makes them pay and takes a 5-4 lead.
Make a mistake, Culver will make you pay. Errant pass, trying to force the crease. Ball goes the other way. The defenseman couldn't get a stick on it to kind of push it back to the offensive end. Culver with a key ground ball, a little 2-on-1 break. Big finish, Madronic.
5-4, Culver in front over Haverford. 5 minutes to play here in the third quarter.
Truxas versus Jake Stevens now for Culver. New face-off guy for Culver, and Stevens wins it. I'm sorry, it's Brett Hansor.
Hansor gives it off on the right side.
Sophomore committed to Hopkins.
In front, Simmons. Circling back with it is Stevens. And again, the forwards back on defense. On the right side, Reed puts it wide. It'll stay with Culver. Chauvet gets it in front. Madronic with space and a goal. Another one, 52 in maroon. We don't talk about him much, but my goodness, is the junior heading to Cornell dangerous when he has space.
Yes, he just a little pick on the crease, little stack play coming from behind. Chauvet driving from right to left, little slip pick. Madronic pops up from low to high, gets the pass, buries it for a nice goal. Awesome Madronic. Again, here's another battle at the X right here. Brett Hansor, the sophomore Canadian from Huntsville, Ontario. The Hopkins commit going against the senior, Joel Truxas. Hansor got the last one. Truxas needs the ball as Haverford sits down by 2.
We haven't seen Brannigan here in the second half. It was Liam Duff, the defender, who was taking the draws. And now Hansor is in after the Duff injury. Truxas trying to scoop the ground ball. Referee will call the push. Gavin Burke. 3:40 to play here in the third quarter. Haverford back down 2 after they knotted it at 4 earlier in the quarter. No strength.
That's Liam Duff back on the field, number 26. Good to see. Little bit of a limp, but still looking quite nimble.
Matt Costin gives it across. Salvaggio back to Garno. A little bit of space. Not enough for a shot. Costin moves forward with Anderson chasing him. Nostrand in front, a little tall, but O'Grady goes to fetch. Interesting that we don't see 30 TJ Malone on the field right now.
They're going with the size of Scott Deck, crease attackman.
Garno inside, side of the net, shot wide from Nostrand.
Little backhand flip by Nostrand, trying to come around his offhand.
You talked about Nostrand playing attack last year, and it looks like he's in that position again since they've added 14 Deck to the lineup as opposed to Malone.
Yep.
No strength. Flag comes in, so it'll be a man up for Haverford.
Looks like they're going to get a late push on Luke Anderson, pushing Matt Costin.
Culver has to possess before play is halted. Shot from far out, Garno. Save made by Schmidt. And the push is called. So it'll be a man up for Haverford. They've converted on these opportunities when they had them. It looks like it's going to be 33 Luke Anderson, who will take a knee on the sideline.
Again, push or cross-check from behind. Tough call. Again, anytime that the other team makes a mistake like that, you get on the man advantage. You have to cash in. Down by 2, 2:15 left in the third. Big opportunity here for Haverford.
Garno, Nostrand. Now side of the net with it. It's O'Grady. Nostrand. Space. O'Grady wide. But it will stay with the Fords. 2:02 to play here in the third.
Good patience. O'Grady trying to get that offside hip shot. Like the placement, a little wide.
Malone back in with the man up. O'Grady. Side of the net. Shot, Nostrand. Saved by Schmidt. Aiden Maroon has made some big saves when they needed him.
Easy save there for Schmidt. Nostrand didn't really have his feet set on that shot. Probably needed one more pass.
Hallenbeck with a man down gives to Chauvet, and here's a chance to bleed some time on the penalty. Jackson Reed holds. And now we're back to even strength. 1:15 remains here in the third. Culver likes to hold for the last possession of the quarter as they give over to Reed. They lead by 2 as we tick under 60 to play here in the third. Just a game of catch around the perimeter. Jackson Reed.
Very content with ball possession. Coach Posner saying just hold it. Two-goal lead by Culver. Very content, just burning time off the clock. Take it to the fourth quarter.
That does not make the Ford faithful fulfilled. On the right side with it, trying to attack is Stevens. Finds Chauvet. Under 10 to play here in the quarter. Chauvet. In front. Shot, score. Patience pays off. Jay Stevens with 2.1 to play in the third quarter gives Culver a 3-goal lead.
Early slide, need for the slide really. Sitting there on the right-hand side, Chauvet had nothing to offer, but the Haverford defender made the slide a little too soon, couldn't recover. Culver makes him pay. Chauvet's not a threat at all. Early slide right there. Ryan Jacob left too soon, left his man open, time room, goal, Culver.
Face-off X controlled by Baranigan. And the third quarter has come to an end here at Sable Field. The Fords charged early. The Eagles grabbed control late. We go to quarter number 4. 7-4 Culver in front over Haverford. You're watching the Interact Invitational presented by Rothman Institute.
I never wanted to be a fireman or an astronaut. My dream was to be a professional baseball player. And last year, I was getting ready for my first professional season, and my shoulder just kept getting more sore, and I knew something wasn't right. I walked into Rothman, and I saw all the sports teams' jerseys on the wall. I knew I was in good hands. Because of Rothman, I can pitch even better than I was before. I'm back out on that mound to finish pursuing my dream of being in the big leagues.
In my freshman year of high school, I started feeling pain in my ankle. So I went to a local specialist who diagnosed me with a rare ankle condition. And because of this rare condition, he suggested that I go to Rothman. My Rothman doctor told me that I have to have surgery on my ankle. He really explained it to me and told me that I was going to be okay. It's my senior year, and I am so thankful to my Rothman doctor for getting me back on the field with my team and having no pain. I love it.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Evolution Energy Partners. Also by CBRE Commercial Real Estate, the Brennan Collective, and ExecuPower. Our title sponsor for the Interac Invitational is Rothman Institute, the official team physicians of the Phillies, Eagles, Flyers, and 76ers. Rothman Institute provides the region with unmatched orthopedic care. To get your mobility back and to live again, visit RothmanInstitute.com. The Haverford faithful looking on, hoping for a comeback here by the Fords. How do they get to it?
You know, very patient offense by Culver, really patient offense by Haverford. They've had their opportunities, a couple big saves recently, okay, by Matt Schmidt. The extra man mistake, okay, Culver made them pay for it. But again, here we are, fourth quarter. Haverford down by 3. Time for a little gut check to see who can step up, deliver some goals for Haverford and make this a ball game.
Truxas set to take the draw with Brett Hanser. Hanser has a stick knocked out of his hands. And Hrvata comes away with it. Gives to Truxas, attacks, head of steam. A lot of space for Truxas. Truxas down front, goal! Scott Deck.
Joel Truxas, all you, pal. Great play, wins the draw, ground ball, pushes it up the field. Patience not to force the pass until the slide comes. Has the ground ball, draws the defender, pops it down low. Scott Deck takes a breath. Time, fake, finish. Great goal by the junior, number 14, Scott Deck.
The last 2 times that these teams have matched up, the final has been 8-7. It's 7-5 right now. Haverford hoping if it's that same score again, that Culver's done scoring.
Hanser jumps, illegal procedure, back to Haverford.
No strand. Garno comes forward. Around behind. O'Grady trying to shake himself free. Back to no strand. Mosebrook. Around behind, Malone circles to Garno. And now Mosebrook again. No strand. In front, and Schmidt makes the save. A race to the sideline. They keep it in. Wow, what great work by 30 and white, TJ Malone.
Great individual effort by Malone to save that ball. Playing all out. Love to see it.
No strand. Malone there to set a screen, but he keeps it inside.
Hallenbeck and Anderson on the short stick midfielders. Man, they are playing very well.
Peter Garno spins, backside, gets in front, side of the net, ground ball, and Schmidt able to come away with it. Garno tried to stuff short side, but I think he was a little bit too deep.
Tough turnover there for Haverford.
Even tougher for Culver.
Yeah, but they get a break. Culver turns it over. Ball back to Haverford.
Deck to Garneau. About 20 yards from goal, gives it across. Connor Mosebrook. 9:30 to play here in the fourth quarter. The Fords' defense has gotten a little chance to rest.
Haverford going with a fresh midfield line. Give the first guys a break. Number 2, Connor Devine. 10, Mosebrook. 16, Peyton Holloway. See if we can get a look from the other guys.
O'Grady puts this one over the net.
O'Grady's got a patented low to high, but that was a little too high. Almost through the goalposts.
That doesn't count, right?
No.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Mosebrook. Wanted to make sure there was no trick shot rule or anything like that. Peyton Holloway. Now Connor Devine. Good sustained possession here from the Fords.
Fords are trying to set up the dodge on a short stick.
Holloway. Behind for Malone. Now O'Grady back out to Mosebrook. Devine. Gets the shot off. Schmidt makes the save. Ground ball behind the net. In front. Shot saved by Schmidt. Rebound. Holloway wide.
Oh, man. What a play. Great ground ball by Scott Deck behind the cage for another couple shots. Holloway errant to the left, but they drew the penalty.
So another man up opportunity for the Fords.
Nice flurry of offense by Haverford, the second midfield making some stuff happen. Couple really nice shots there for Haverford, but they drew a penalty. Haverford back in the man up. They've been deadly with their man up so far today.
Pierce Glavin. Garneau receives it back. Nostrand, side of the net to Glavin with some space. Man in front, Garneau. Works it across. Short side, no room to be had. Now it's O'Grady.
They want the ball on O'Grady's stick for this man-up shot.
Garneau. It's Anderson again who took the penalty. O'Grady across to Garneau. Now Glavin. Swings back to Garneau. Low shot. Save made by Schmidt again. Off the stick of O'Grady.
Big save, Matt Schmidt. Critical man-up save.
Schmidt holds, bleeds time. And the man up is all done. Reed through midfield. Attacking in front. Here's Jacoboyce wide, but a penalty as a hit from Billy Holmes puts Stevens down. And the infraction is going to cost Haverford a man up.
Very good patience by Culver to push that ball down the field. Tic-tac-toe passing. Thought that Stevens was going to have that shot. He was errant with it, but they had a great opportunity right there. Slide by Holmes, coming in high with the cross check, taking out Stevens. He's going to sit out for a minute. Seven-minute mark. 7-5. Culver over Haverford. Culver on the man up.
Reed out to the far side and Madronic. He's got it now. Madronic with 3 goals on the day. To Reed, now across. Jacoboyce winds up and scores.
Culver to spread the defense out. Skip pass directly from the right side to the left side. Time room, number 23, Wheaton Jacobois. Crank shot, buries it.
3 for Jacobois, 3 for Madronic. The stars have shown up for Culver Military Academy today.
Yes, they have.
A lot of Haverford's goals have been quick off the draw. Truxas and Brannigan in an important one, with Haverford again trailing by 3 with 6:38 to play.
Brannigan jumped, illegal procedure. That's 3 in a row, or 3 and 1/2 by Culver. That's a penalty. Haverford on the man up.
Think the skill of Truxas maybe in the head?
Could be. If you have 3 illegal procedures in 1/2, it's a penalty. And that's what Culver just did. Haverford back on the man up advantage. Again, they need to put the ball in the net when they have a 6-on-5 advantage. Take your time, dial in your shot, put it in the back of the net.
O'Grady initiates to Glavin. Side of the net, Malone. He's been quiet today. Shot from the outside, and Schmidt again comes up with a save. Ground ball is controlled by Hellenbach.
Wow, big shot. Garno ripped that one, and Schmidt was all over it.
And again, Simmons. With 5:55 to play here in the fourth quarter.
Matt Schmidt, an Under Armour All-American. You're going to see him play in the Under Armour tournament later this summer, representing one of the top, as being recognized as one of the top players in the country. Great accolade. His teammate, Jackson Reed, also is going to be on that Under Armour team.
Schmidt has just been so good in this game. Only 5 goals for the Fords, but it hasn't been limited scoring opportunities. It's been great work in goal.
Yep. No representatives from the Interac in the Under Armour game this year. Quite a surprise that the Interac got shut out after having players on it for the last several years.
Simmons gives it off. Now trying to work his way in front through a ton of contact, and a ground ball. Still loose. Stevens was trying to wind up for a shot. There's Hervada chipping it forward, and Malone controls.
Great play by Evan Scott to push that ball forward.
A lot of space for Burke. He attacks and peels back, gives it off to another man forward, Jacob. Couple of defensive middies forward as here's a shot. Schmidt makes the save and scoops it out of the air.
Wow, it is the Matt Schmidt show right now. 3 huge saves on Haverford in a row. Shutting him down. Haverford's trying to test him high, and he's having none of it. He's eating it all up.
Simmons and Chauvette play catch. Simmons 6, Chauvette 4.
Shot selection is going to be important from now on. You can't test him high. You got to go low and away right now. You have to change your plane with Schmidt. He's feeling good standing up. You got to make him bend down, try to get that low and away shot. Far corner.
Clayton being watched by 35 in white, Gavin Burke, as we tick near 3.5 to play in the fourth quarter. Fords trailing by 3. We saw a late attack from Episcopal bring them close.
One thing Culver knows how to do is possess the ball and run time off the clock.
Ground ball. Still loose. And it's Haverford able to force the turnover.
Great defense by the Fords.
Gavin Burke through the middle, finds Hervada. Spins past a man attacking from behind, and Simmons. Nostrand gives it off to Malone. Now Garno.
The next shot has to be low, Mike. They've tested him high. They're going to bury him low.
That one wide. It goes out, and it will stay with Haverford, much to the chagrin of Schmidt. Garno to Nostrand. 2:30 to play. Matt Costin behind for Malone. Malone tries to body his way out in front. Hits the deck, as does the ball. Garneau able to regather. Luke O'Grady. Timeout. Forwards with 2:13 to play. Today's game is brought to you in part by Evolution Energy Partners, CBRE Commercial Real Estate, the Brennan Collective, and ExecuPower. Our title sponsor today and for this entire Interac Invitational has been the Rothman Institute, the official team physicians of the Phillies, Eagles, Flyers, and 76ers. They provide the region with unmatched orthopedic care to get your mobility back and to live again. Visit RothmanInstitute.com. 2:13 to play here in the fourth quarter with Scott Gabrielson, Mike Samsel. Great to have you along with us on the SFBN Facebook Live here from Sable Field.
And I want to thank our sponsors for supporting this great game here. Jeff Long and Patterson Sports Group, exposing to the Philadelphia area and to the country some of the best lacrosse that there is. Culver Military Academy, 20-1, ranked number 2 in the country. Haverford School just 2 years ago went 26-0 and was a national champ.
Yeah.
So again, you're seeing some of the best lacrosse that there is. Again, as we talked about it yesterday or Friday, let's talk about it today. Culver, 29 players, 26 Division I commits. Haverford, the same thing. 12 seniors on Haverford, 8 seniors on Culver. So very, lean for seniors for Culver.
Right.
So they've got, a very strong future ahead of them with the seniors, sophomores, and juniors that are playing for that team.
They really do have a ton of talent coming back, including Austin Madronic. 43 goals on the season coming into today, and 3 today. The lead is 3 for the Eagles. As we come out of the timeout, this is almost a must-score possession for Haverford.
Yes, it is. I think it was a good timeout by Coach Nostrand. Get your team together, get a play drawn up. Now you got to execute. You need a goal with 2:13 left. You need to get this within 2, one at a time. Chip away at it. Try to get it tied up for the end of regulation.
Double overtime between these two earlier on this season. Nostrand gives it off on the left side. This is Garneau. Under 2 to play. Garneau gets to the right hand and gives it behind for Malone. DJ Malone has been quiet today. O'Grady hasn't. He's got a goal line extended. Here's a shot, and that one wide. And the ground ball, little mishandle on the transfer, but Schmidt able to control the ground ball. Minute and a half to play.
Strong D by Culver, Ted Batson, Duff.
And a great fourth quarter by Schmidt, who puts this one just wide of the open net.
Haverford in the 10-man ride, meaning Parker Henderer was out of the net, double teaming a defender. And Schmidt saw that open goal and just missed it, probably by a couple feet. Looks like Posner's going to take the timeout now, give his guys a rest.
And again, with this timeout, just want to thank all of our sponsors who allowed us to bring you the semifinals and finals of the Interac Invitational here on the Sports Fanbase Network and Facebook Live. Evolution Energy Partners, providing expert energy solutions to commercial and industrial customers around the country. By CBRE Commercial Real Estate, #1 in commercial real estate in Philadelphia and worldwide. The Brennan Collective, providing architectural interiors, furniture solutions, and workplace technology. The Brennan Collective, providing environments for the future. And ExecuPower, the power of experience. Desperation time for the Forts.
Yep, so Posner's got his Culver Eagles in the huddle, probably going to spread the field out, 4 corners, just play cat and mouse. Haverford's going to probably go to a 10-man ride. Hender is going to have to play defense, and they're going to double the ball. Oftentimes this results in an empty net goal, but it's all you can do at this time. You got to swarm, try to create a turnover, get the ball back.
It's a long ride to Indiana after the game tonight for Culver Military Academy. Talking to their head coach yesterday, John Posner, he said they'll be back home about 8 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Yep.
That bus ride will feel a lot better if a trophy's taking up a seat.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Well, they're a minute 17 away from that if they can continue to possess the ball. Hender is at the midfield line.
And another timeout is taken. So what could be the advantage in that?
Little chess move by John Nostrand. Wants to see what Culver was set up in. Took a look at it. Now he's going to set up his defense.
We'll step aside and take a quick timeout. Back with the last minute and 17 after this. You're watching the Interac Invitational presented by Rothman Institute.
I'm an electrical contractor. I'm always on the move. I was having a lot of pain down my right leg. I went to a specialist, and he gave me an injection, and it didn't seem to help me whatsoever. So I went to Rothman. My doctor took an x-ray and said I was bone on bone, and I would need a hip replacement. I felt very confident with him, and I said, okay, let's schedule the surgery. I'm 9 weeks out of surgery. Well, I'm back to working, and if I needed another joint replacement, I would definitely go back to Rothman.
1:17 to play here at Sable Field. 8-5, Culver Military Academy. The Eagles in maroon in front over the Fords of the Haverford School. With Scott Gabrielson, Mike Samsel, great to have you along with us for today's game. And this has been my first opportunity to be a part of the Interac Invitational, and boy, what a great show is put on. We were talking about it, some of the premier lacrosse around the country, but really a premier event put together as well.
No doubt about it. Some of the best teams in the country. One team I want to call out right now, I want to see the LaSalle College High School Explorers in this tournament next year. I want to say they're 21-1 right now. Love to see them. Another Philadelphia power in the Interac Invitational. Culver's coming from Indiana, but there's a lot of talented teams right here in our backyard, and LaSalle's one of them.
Back to live action out of the timeout. Jackson Reed survives a beating and is able to give it off to Jacobois. The net is open for Haverford, but not a whole lot of interest in scoring right now for Culver Military Academy. Just trying to run time, run around in circles. JK about that whole no interest in scoring thing. Jackson Reed makes it 9-5.
Burn time off the clock. Again, 10-man ride is all or nothing. You get the turnover or you get scored on. Unfortunately, they got scored on there.
And it's now 9-5, a 4-goal lead with under a minute to play. Culver looking for their second straight Interac Invitational Championship.
It is one thing, Haverford, to be the best, you have to beat the best. And when Haverford has won their national championships, when Malvern Prep has gone undefeated, you got to play the best teams in the country to be recognized as the best. And you normally have to go through Culver to do so. Unfortunately, the Interact teams this year could not do that against the powerful Culver Military Academy.
Is that from the great philosopher, Nature Boy Ric Flair? Under 30 seconds to play. Schmidt holds right now. Boy, was he spectacular in the fourth quarter. When Haverford had their opportunities, number 8 stood tall. 10 seconds to play. Is this one thrown as high in the air as it could go from Jacobois? Back down to Schmidt.
A cheer from the Haverford section saying thank you, Loving. Travis Loving, the longtime defensive coordinator, moving on. But it's the Culver Military Academy Eagles that take the 2017 Interact Championship. Interact Invitational Championship, I should say.
Boy, jubilation in there right now for Culver Military Academy. The Eagles, just a wonderful performance, wonderful strategy coming into the game. When they had their opportunities, they converted, and they also converted on the forward missteps.
Yes, they did. And again, this is a powerful team. These guys have put points on every team. They've blown out the majority of their teams this year by 10 goals, 12 goals at a time. And again, very strong performance by Culver against a talented Haverford school team. But again, it goes to Culver again this year.
Yeah, Culver has just been absolutely spectacular, and they're able to get their revenge on the Fords. The Fords handed Culver their only loss of the regular season, but now the Eagles move on to 21-1.
Yes, they have. So again, the only blemish on their entire season in the schedule came here at Sable Field against the Haverford Fords, and today they redeemed themselves by beating them once again, and probably securing themselves in North America without, say, not including Canada,
right,
probably as the number one team in the United States.
Yeah, Culver, just a powerhouse, and you see some of the players that you're going to watch go on through their career as their goaltender Matthew Schmidt, he's a senior, Jackson Reed a senior, Wheaton Jacobois a senior. So when you talk about the NCAA tournament next year, you're going to hear a lot of these names that you saw not only at Culver but at Haverford in this game as well. So just a great kind of proper send-off for this Culver Military Academy, getting another trophy, their second in a row here in the Interact Invitational.
Yes, it is. And keep your eye on, when you watch the NCAAs next weekend, the Final Four, for the kids that played at Culver, the kids that played at Haverford and Malvern Prep and Episcopal Academy. They're littered through this Final Four teams from Denver, to Maryland, to the teams that are in there. Towson made it today, and we'll see what happens with the late game. But
big upset over Syracuse.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's the best in the country are being recruited from this hotbed of Philadelphia, and it was a great testament to the Interact and the performance that they had and all the teams that were invited here today. But it's Culver that takes the trophy.
But this Philadelphia area is unquestionably growing and unquestionably becoming one of the lacrosse hotbeds in the entire United States. Partner, it's been great to be alongside of you for these 2 days.
Absolutely. It's been great, Mike. Thank you.
Our SFBN crew has been spectacular. Josh Bellman, Julian Bellman, Ari Bluestein, the whole crew, can't thank them enough for all of their tireless work on Friday and Sunday to make sure we can bring you these games, as well as our sponsors who have allowed us to bring you coverage here on Facebook Live. For Scott Gabrielson, I'm Mike Samsel. Congratulations to Culver Military Academy, the champions of the Interact Invitational.